Something
Hello!
iCarly theme.
No! No! We can't afford that! Hello, welcome to Comics and Dragons, where I don't have my usual host. I have Gray! Gray, it's great talking to you again.
Is this the right studio? Am I in the right studio? I'm looking for a Dylan.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, okay. I've never been in this building before.
You were
I'm
here
kind of
like
lost.
15 minutes ago.
What?
You were here 15 minutes ago. We just recorded Rolling Insight.
What?
You're Gray of Nat Good Enough?
I'm Gray?
Yes.
I'm Gray?
You're not the color Gray.
Me?
No!
I'm Gray, not good enough?
Yes, you're Gray Nat Good Enough. You play Mumford.
I play Mumford? What an honor.
Yeah, I play the Dungeon Master. Obviously, all our lines and stuff are written by a team of writers.
You're the Dylan Dungeon Master?
Yes, I'm the Dylan Dungeon Master.
Wow.
And you're Gray of Nat Good Enough. It's so great to talk to you. We don't get to talk outside of, the show.
No, it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused.
I don't understand why you thought you were in the wrong studio. We just finished talking.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Rolling
Wow,
Insight?
I ditch existence off recording.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes things get a little messed up.
Well, you're in the correct reality, in the correct studio.
Okay, cool.
So, we're talking about something near and dear to everyone's hearts. Welcome to the Adventure Zone!
That's not that theme song.
And also, I can't really say that. I'm not Griffin McElroy.
You also have to say it with more gusto, like, welcome to the Adventure Zone!
Exactly. I'm not Griffin McElroy. You're not Travis or Clint or
Justin.
Or Justin.
Justin.
So, we're talking about the Adventure Zone comics because we decided that would be a good idea for us.
The Crystal Kingdom was recently released.
It was recently released. We're not talking about it, though.
Talking about Here There Be Gerblins, yeah?
Yes, we're talking about Here There Be Gerblins. I love this book.
Yeah, oh. I don't have it.
I haven't read all of it yet, but I've listened to the podcast.
Same.
And it's pretty much exactly how the podcast went.
Pretty much. I've seen some screenshots.
Yeah, it's pretty much how the podcast went. But it's really interestingly done where the DM kind of just shows up inside the book, and I like that.
They do some really interesting paneling with that, which is cool.
Yeah, he just kind of comes out of the corner. He's like, "I'm your dungeon master, Griffin."
Hey, it's me, Griffin, your dungeon master.
It's like,
and what the fuck are you doing?
Which, let's face it, is kind of a Griffin thing.
Yeah. Oh, there's this part in the second campaign where he straight up did that, and it was so funny.
But yeah,
I can't.
It's so great. It's so hilarious because I always love the Adventure Zone just because it's so funny while I'm walking. Just to hear them talk about you threw my dog into the fire.
Shouldn't have the dog jump in my ass.
Well, you shouldn't have thrown my dog.
I don't think a dog could fit in an ass.
Which, it's one of my favorite interactions in the whole show. Just them and the bugbear?
Oh, Clark.
Yeah, Clark.
Oh, I love Clark. Man, I love Clark. He's probably one of my absolute favorite characters in that campaign.
You threw my wolf into the fire! That was my favorite wolf!
You threw him into the fire, though!
You should have thought about that before you threw my dog into the fire!
Oh, man. What's their Magic Brian like? This is very important, because Magic Brian might actually be my favorite character in the first campaign.
You know what? I'm reading through it now. Let me look for Magic Brian.
Please.
Magic Brian shows up at the end, right?
Magic Brian's basically the final boss, but at the end they go to
the moon.
Bureau of Balance.
The moon.
Yes.
There's Barry Blue Jeans.
Yeah. With his crisp blue jeans.
Who dies immediately.
Yeah. He dies after being real mean.
Oh no! Magic Barry isn't the final boss, is he?
Brian?
Magic Brian's not the final boss.
Brian?
Isn't it the fire dude?
Fire dude?
Yeah, the dude on fire because he touched a magical artifact.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Magic Brian's like a mid-level boss.
Yeah, it's like I don't know Dark Souls actually, but I think it's when Dark Souls has two bosses before the real boss.
Yeah, exactly. Or just, regular video games. Oh my god, Magic Brian looks hilarious. Those looked a bit like magic missiles. I'm not completely sure because this is how they look when I cast them.
God, I miss Magic Brian so much.
Welcome to the Wizard's Duel, Patty. Can't say I'm a fan.
Oh, there he is. Oh, the expressions are so good.
Brian Vitawai! He was one.
Can we just...
He was one day from Spider retirement.
At Griffin McElroy, if you're reading this, please, just a one-shot where Magic Brian is one of the player characters.
Okay,
cough, Justin, cough.
Before we even go through that, did you just say, but if you're reading this?
Yes. Why, do you have a problem?
First of all, I don't think Griffin is deaf, so he wouldn't be able to, he doesn't need the closed captions.
He's partially deaf.
Oh, is he?
No, wait, he's partially blind.
Partially blind.
Yes.
We can describe it to him. Hey, Magic Brian! Abraca, fuck you!
Justin's character voices are so good.
Right? It's so good.
Man, his characters are just good.
Oh my god, here's the thing, I just love the scenes depicted out and it's making me want to listen to There Be Gerblins again.
Yeah.
Because there's this scene with Magic Brian where he's like, it seems you have learned well from me. You took some pointers from my rad magic missiles. Hello? Oh, were you waiting for me? I actually already said my one cool thing.
Yeah, darling, I totally did it.
It seems my goose might be, how do you say it, cooked? So how do you like this? And he just pulls him down. Oh, I love it.
Oh, man. Griffin's acting in that scene, magnifique.
Chef's kiss.
Yes. I can tell you anything you want to know about dwarves. Yeah, it was really hard to compete with what Gundren said, like, admittedly.
Item. Item name. Nature. Powers. Hey, you dwarf, there's a cane here.
Man, I ought to listen to Hear There Be Gerblins. The last arcs just obliterated me.
Detect the magic. Come on. Is that really the best you can do? Detecto Magico. Whoa, far. Wasn't the dwarves from the mine like Merle's cousins?
Yeah, and Magnus stole the boots off of one of them.
Right?
And Clint made such a good effort to be like, where are his boots? He got them for Christmas one year from our long dead aunt.
My favorite one is when Taco begins to start stealing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, wow, that's hilarious.
It's really hard to beat the first arc because they were so funny. But all the arcs were good.
I also love that Magnus just high fives.
Yeah.
Without thinking.
Well, you know, Magnus rushes in.
Yeah.
Magnus will always rush in without thinking, even for high fives.
Yeah, he's the Faraday of the group.
No.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Faraday high.
Magnus got drugs.
That's true, but he's not constantly toking it up.
That is true.
Faraday is barely lucid.
Oh no! Berry blue jeans! And they made a whole town into glass.
Yeah, and they still bring it up like, we don't want another this. Hey, you guys! Hey! Don't fuck up.
Hey, you guys, don't turn another town into glass.
Stop glassing towns. Which technically wasn't their fault, because they didn't know that the town would get glassed, even though there was a clue.
Yeah. You know that burnt up corpse?
Covered in glass, surrounded by glass. I don't think someone kicked his glass. I think that might have been his own doing.
No. Also, before we continue on, I am talking about corpse as in a corpse of humans and not the actual person named Corpse.
There was a character named Corpse?
No, there's just a person out in the world named Corpse.
Oh.
Yeah, he makes music. It's pretty good music.
Huh.
It's all edgy and shit.
Oh. Yeah, I would think so. I wouldn't expect I'm Corpse and then they just like start singing Sleeping at Last covers.
I mean, he seems like a really nice dude. Anyways.
Good.
Yeah, it's just a fun book in which I love the glass bauble and then they get floated up to the moon.
Oh. That was a wild thing to hear about upon first listen.
I remember waking up in the morning because I fell asleep listening to Adventure Zone. I wake up and I hear, now that we're on the moon, and I'm like, what?
Waking up to the fresh sounds of no dogs on the moon
Yeah.
would make you feel like an insane person.
Yeah, that's what I did. Oh my god. Where is Taco's revelation about tacos? Ground beef.
Not in... Sour cream.
Sour cream. Oh, jeez. This book does make me want to first listen to There Be Gerblins again, because Here There Be Gerblins is hilarious.
Yeah. I'd love to get my hands on the 11th hour comic.
Is there an 11th
11th
hour comic?
Is that before Crystal Kingdom?
I don't know. Let me check. Because I know that there's Here There Be Gerblins, and then the Rockport Express.
Pedals to the Metal.
Let me check. The Adventure Zone! There's Pedals to the Metal. Let me just... Rockport Limited. And Here There Be Gerblins. That's all that's on
Crystal
Google.
Kingdom.
And Crystal Kingdom.
There's no. Oh man, I would love to have 11th Hour adapted if I had any of them. Oh man, 11th Hour is just a good arc. I love Roswell so much.
Yeah. Oh my god. Because I want to get back to listen to The Adventure Zone. I took a bit of a break for a bit. I want to get back into it because I just love while I'm walking down, like, walking through town for like a couple hours and just laughing at my ass off.
Good.
Just be like,
it's a perfect way.
Just be like, and just boisterous laughing, and I just once saw people like look at me and like, what the fuck, man?
It's crazy. This person's crazy.
But it was like some of the moments in Here There Be Gerblins is just wild. Like, yeah, the wolf moment, the entire Magic Brian thing. I do feel weird that there's no like out of characters moments.
Yeah.
Because the out of character moments are some of the best moments in Adventure Zone.
They are. Like when Clint does or says some wild shit and they all have to be like, wait, no, we're not glossing over that.
Yeah. The weird stories about Clint's sexual escapades is like, what the fuck?
Clint, why?
Clint, we didn't want to talk about this.
It's like Merle's plant fetish.
Oh my god, Merle's plant fetish is just amazing. And it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that it's very in character. Man, the Adventure Zone is so good.
Magnus being on drugs is just hilarious.
Yeah. Again, something Travis was very good at portraying.
And just Taco. Just Taco.
Yeah. Taco is such a good character. I love him so much.
I do like that they're talking to Griffin.
Yeah. That's a fun way to portray it. Oh, I'm looking at their interaction with Clark, and I love how it's colored.
And Clark looks cool.
Clark does look cool. He's a big guy. He's a big old fluffy hug bear.
The goblins in the other, like, area. My haunch!
Oh, yeah!
That was my grandfather's haunch.
I love the scene of Taco. I think Taco could speak Goblin at the time.
Yeah, he could.
So I hope he still can. I think that's in character.
I think he can because if we think Pedals to the Metal, where he walks over to like the base of the other guys, the opponents. He walks over to talk to them. and then disguise selves and all that.
Oh my god. Everything about that scene was so good. Like Merle's, God is going to hit you with a train.
Yep. It's because he just dealt with a fucking train.
Just thinking about it. There's a really good animatic of that scene somewhere.
Oh my god. We gotta focus and talk about this comic, though. By the way, how the Gerblins look is just amazing. Like, they look very weird and inhuman.
Can you send them in the chat?
I can try.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gosh.
Gosh.
Gorsh.
Sorry to make... Yuck.
Yuck.
Gosh, Maxie. That's a bit of a difficult one. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, you regret that, don't you?
Yeah. You know when you say something and then you can just still feel it on your mouth and it's a bad mouth feel?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Thank you for understanding. Have a nice day.
There. Sent it to the chat.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, my dude.
So cool.
Oh yeah, my dude. We're killing everything. We're killing everybody. Taco looking androgynous is just amazing because, yeah, Taco seems like an androgynous dude.
Oh yeah, which is very much reinforced in 11th Hour.
Like,
Wizard be looking GNC as fuck.
Taco, if I were to imagine Taco, yeah, he'd be definitely non-binary.
Oh yeah. He, they, taco, when?
He, they, taco, always.
You're right. You're so right.
He, they, taco.
Justin McElroy, if you're reading this.
No one's gonna be reading this.
I mean, is hearing not just reading for the ears? Not backing down from that one. Answer the question.
I guess. Wait.
Yeah.
It says number 16, sixth the short one, and the wolf went for... Oh, it went for Merle first, and then it went for Magnus threw him. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah. Magnus is a protection fighter.
I just like Griffin pointing to the fire and saying, "Did I mention there's a fire pit right over there?"
Yeah. It really captures how Griffin DMs.
It really does. I do that. You threw my wolf into the fire.
Like when he pointed out that Gundren was like right there. Hey guys, don't forget about Gundren. He didn't get crushed, so it's fine. But don't forget.
Chill the fuck out, Ganache.
Huh?
What? It's not. His name's not. What's his name again? Clark?
Clark.
Yeah, it says Ganache here for some reason.
Weird.
Did Clark suffer a name change?
Did he? But Clark is such a good name for him. Because he yells it first meeting.
Because it says Ganassi.
Weird.
It right? Or Ganache?
Ganache.
It should be Clark.
Yeah. In your heart, it's Clark.
It's Clark.
It's like when the anime changes something from the manga. And you're like, why'd you change that? That's kind of dumb.
Yavi. I love Yavi. He was henchman of the month in February. You fellas sure you don't want some tea? I have a wonderful Earl Grey. 58 minutes, Gnash. 58 minutes, Clark. Try to stay focused. So, Yavi, he's pretty special, isn't he?
Once you dead.
Your buddy Yeehaw is holding Barry Blue Jeans captive. Oh, yes, Barry, wonderful fellow, very cordial. Until you beat him within an inch of his life.
Pretty sure that's how most people function.
This
Emphasis
Yavo.
on most.
I just like Taco just constantly mispronouncing the guy's name. Right, Yertle said he would release Barry to us if he. This is going to be tough to hear. He said, Munch. He said he gotta kill you. It's like. It's so good.
Justin is very good at coming up with character quirks on the fly.
Right?
Like Taco's weird deal with names. Cough, cough, the Rockport Limited. What's your name? Justin.
and Taco's whole deal with Angus.
Merle's deal with Angus is really funny too. It's horrible, and it made it harder for me to like him for the longest time.
But it's hilarious.
Yeah. Merle will forgive you if you beat him within an inch of his life, but like this random 10-year-old child.
I just love that in your campaign when we got into the train, I'm like, this is going to be Rockport Limited again.
Wrong, it's Mob Psycho 100.
I've never watched that.
There is an OVA where one of the characters was sent to train hell.
Oh no.
That was a good time. Yeah, and so I was talking about that with my brother, and I was like, haha, what if I send my players to train hell? And he was like, now you have to. And I was like, damn, you're right.
Let your brother know that I hate him.
I was the one who mentioned it first.
Yeah,
so.
I understand, but he did say, now you have to, and I'm still stuck there.
Get out of train hell eventually. I'm lowering the DC gradually.
Next thing I know, it's like, you've rolled 3 nat ones in a row. Chase just dies.
I'm not gonna do that.
It's like, well, at least I have Thorold.
Thorold, our friend Thorold.
I had a cool thought of Thorold's necrotic shroud anyways. Like, I'm like thinking of like, oh, his necrotic shroud, instead of the wings kind of furl up into a captain, like a pirate captain's jacket and hat.
I love that.
It's so cool in my mind. It's like, fuck it, boom. I'm the Dread Captain Thorold.
Oh, is his like when they cast? Is it like sea shanties for vocal components?
Some of them, yes.
Just like slams on their.
There once was a ship that took to sea.
That was put to sea. The name of the ship was Ability of Tea.
It's like.
Finishing move. Soon may the Wellerman come.
And it's gravity sinkhole. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh,
or
good.
In a tense scene, and it's go boys go. They'll time your every breath.
I was thinking of like dominate person being leave her Johnny.
That would be a good one. Charm person is Sally Brown.
Exactly. Now we're just talking about our own campaigns. Like, oh, by the way, he has proficiency in Dex, Constitution, and Charisma saving throws.
Good. I'll need it.
Because he also has Warcaster, so he has advantage on concentration saving throws. So it's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Man, it's probably good. There's been a lot more Constitution saves than even I predicted.
Yeah, and he has hold person and polymorph and all that, and all. He has all his good spells, and I just kind of want to kill Chase now. Stab.
No. We have the MacGuffin ball. It's fine.
But expertise and persuasion.
But also, Chase funny.
But also, Thorold could be funny.
But also, Chase has an accent for questioning people, and it brings me life.
You don't know what Thorold does for questioning people.
I don't, but listen, I'm attached to all of your characters so much. That is why I try not to kill them.
Thorold could be the best character. I'm gonna bring out Thorold one day, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh God."
There's a thing I want to talk to you about once we get past the train section.
Yes. Okay, wait. Probably shouldn't do this on podcast.
No, because they'll be like,
we went off track. Adventure Zone.
Adventure Zone. We're talking about the second campaign, right? Can we talk about Amnesty? Can we talk about Amnesty?
Unfortunately, we're still talking about the first campaign.
Okay. I do love balance. Amnesty is my favorite, but I do love balance.
Do they get Tree Cutter in Magic Costco? In Fantasy Costco?
Oh, yeah, the Rail Splitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. It has Magnus's blood on it. Which is very important for reasons I can't say.
It's like, oh God.
Garfield is such a good character.
Clark, since we're friends here, best friends I would say. Oh, no doubt. What happened? Lovers, maybe? It's like, oh God, Jesus. Time will tell.
Oh, I gotta re-listen to hear there be Gerblins.
It's gonna be Clark, and I'm gonna be happy because Clark is a good name.
Really is.
I don't understand why it's been changed.
No, it's very good. It makes sense for the character too, because that's how he talks when he's not charmed.
Exactly.
Which is only sometimes.
It really is only sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah. Like in Petals to the Middle, when he was sometimes charmed, sometimes not.
Yeah. It's a great book. It's interestingly paneled. I love the art because it makes the characters kind of pop. And it is just a shot-for-shot of the podcast, which you kind of hope for.
Yeah, because no changes that should be made to the Adventure Zone as is, except for maybe, like, they changed their characters after the first arc a bit.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, doesn't need to be changed for the comic.
I think Petals to the Metal is when we find out about Merle's plant fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
Right in the beginning, in the hotel.
Have I sent you the 50 Shades of Green animatic?
You have not.
That's a crime. I am so sorry to have done this to you.
Oh no.
It's such a good one.
I feel like it's more of a crime that you're sending it to me.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my first animatic crime, now would it?
Oh no. Your first crime to me is showing me uh Fartman, you know.
Yandere death?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god. To be fair, one of my sisters sent that in the group chat, and I was like, huh, time to send this to Dylan.
Why? Why would you think that?
Funny.
No, that is not funny at all.
Ew.
That is just mean and horrible.
To be fair, it's deleted out of the chat.
Yes, but it's seared into my mind.
Yeah, it's seared into my mind too.
So you just needed to make sure that it's seared into someone's mind?
Yeah.
Someone other than your siblings?
Yeah.
That's just mean.
The sibling group chat is a cursed land.
And you decide to bring me into it for a bit?
That is not the worst of it.
Okay. I'm not gonna...
Don't.
Yeah, no, not gonna pry.
We should get back to talking about the Adventure Zone.
Oh god, the 50 Shades of Green animatic is here.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we shall go back to talking about the Adventure Zone.
Speaking of cursed siblings.
Speaking of cursed siblings. Berry Blue Jeans is just hilarious.
Yeah.
I also love the interaction of, why can't I? What the hell are spell slots?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Merrill would probably not know what spell slots are. He would probably cast a spell and be like, alright, that was cool.
That was the one I had for the day. Good work, team. I am so excited for you to get to later arcs in the podcast. We're talking about the comic, but like, oh man, the last few arcs are so good.
I really want to get back into it because it's just so fun.
Yeah. The last arcs made me cry really hard, so maybe don't listen to the ends of those while walking.
I mean, I'm not a crier. I should be fine next week.
Me neither.
Why?
Then I can send you an animatic that brings me pain all the time, but I watch anyway.
Why? Why are you doing this to me, Gray?
I'm fucked up and evil. Next question.
This is why Mumford's going to die next session.
Alright, fine. Be that way.
Yes, and to anyone who asked, yes, we are... If I kill a character, I am completely replacing the cast member. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna get Steve in, finally.
Steve. Steve has been mentioned in the chat and sometimes in game that so much that people probably are like, who the fuck is Steve? Steve.
At Steve, if you're listening, I guess. Hi.
Did you just say hi? Did you just take that minute to say hi?
Yeah. Hi, Steve.
Steve, run. I'm just gonna have you guys fight a gelatinous cube.
Cube. Speaking of fighting things, the color palette in the comic adaptation is also quite nice.
Yeah,
I was looking
it's
at the panels. Yeah, I love how, like, the whole panel of Clark yelling at them was all, like, red tinted. That
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah, and the lettering was all red.
Yeah!
Actually, I'm
Also,
pretty sure anything Clark says is in red, and I love it.
that's wonderful. The color palette overall, I love that it works with all bright colors.
Yeah, it's really good.
And really drives home the fact that they didn't want to do grimy fantasy, which is fun.
Yeah, which I decided the opposite.
Grimy fantasy only. I want the grossest fantasy you got.
Grimy fantasy
Nope.
and cyberpunk.
There's some oil stains on this fantasy.
There's some oil stains, some bullet holes, some trauma. You know what?
Some?
A lot of trauma.
Thank you. As Rachel said, save the trauma for after my pun.
Oh my god. It's not that much trauma.
Uh-huh.
We
Keep going, Dylan.
It's been worse.
Yeah,
I
really
po-
has been.
I point to Apollo.
I was thinking Apollo. I wasn't gonna invoke their name, but I was thinking of them.
Yeah, that's because they suffered the worst trauma of all your characters.
Honestly, what's funny is when I was making Apollo, I was like, maybe I should give them a tragic backstory, because I do that all the time with characters that aren't D&D characters. I was like, no, this is a new group. They don't need to know that my brain is like this. And you're like, oh, no, this is happening. As if you read my brain waves.
This is my brain. Boom! Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the show of us rambling on about D&D campaigns and sometimes about adventures out here. There be goblins.
We did talk about the Adventure Zone quite a bit.
Yes,
just mostly about parts we liked about the podcast.
Yeah, and you know what? The book is great. I do recommend it. It is a 10 out of 10 when it comes to the D&D scale. It is also a 10 out of 10 when it comes to the book scale because it's actually really good and interesting, and the colors are very vibrant.
I give it 10 magic missiles.
Oh no, not 10 magic missiles!
Okay, sorry. I give it 10
Don't say
scones?
Yeah, I'll take
out
scones.
of 10 scones. Yeah.
Alright.
Give it. Yeah.
So.
10 scones out of 10 scones.
Well, I will see you next time on Comics and Dragons. You can see Gray on all the other shows we have on Not Good Enough.
And in your local pet shelter, biting at the bars.
Yeah, at the local pet shelters, biting at the bars and trying to steal all the pets from the pet shelters.
Yeah.
Thank you and goodbye.